It's currently 7:14:24, roughly 0300. And I was pondering, let's go back to my other video. You should have asked them to send you home rather than trying to incorporate and indoctrinate into America. But as a black man anyway in America, when you watch Dr. Richie Rashad show and then see the whole immigrant thing and then see all this negative shit, you just get a sense of, like back in the 60s, if not before then, a sign of blatant hate and disrespect, disregard for those of Ezeb Kulani, or they call African descent. And it's like, when you think about back in the day, so like I say, there's scriptures are being fulfilled. Like my other video, Armageddon is the only option. Or my other video, separation of the world is maybe the only option, unless it be war. So, since the day you got here, at least post-slavery, they've been like the mentality of the blacks, especially is showing the hatred too. See right there, that's the sign of hate that they just don't want to see you eat. They be like, okay, right here, don't do this. Black Wall Street was thriving for over 10 years. No outside help, no outside dealings. But yet, here comes the KKK and the rest of these nasty motherfuckers burning, looting, and raping motherfuckers that was in the middle of nowhere, minding their business and living their life. And was better than America. I say the only reason why the whites of America only time a white America throve was on the backs of me, which is slavery. After slavery, motherfuckers have been falling, and now they're at this current state where now they're going around picking war. Well, always been picking wars to be able to sustain self. So that shows you who's really the shit and who isn't. But since that time, the mentality was just stay out of those areas, and stay in these areas where it's safe and blah, 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 blah. So now you fast forward today. So basically for a century now, you've been doing the same shit over and over again, keeping to stay in certain areas. And it's crazy because those areas are now keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And now as a black man, when you watch that's Rich Rashad show, even the place in where you normally, like I said, the cities are roughly about 15% of America's population. But even the city now is becoming hazardous and dangerous and uninhabitable for the black men. So as a black man, it's like, what are the options? You've been staying out of these little nut-ass backwood towns, these nut-ass backwood areas. Even while in the city, like I said, back in the 60s and previous to that, been getting harassed. Back in the 1900s, still getting lynched and raped and all that shit when you would walk out or they catch you out somewhere, even in the city. So now as a black male, on top of that, now they're showing the blatant disrespect with this immigration thing, and now definitely disregarding, like I said, police brutality has been since Biden, since Floyd, has been increasing and increasing and increasing. Don't believe me? Dr. Richie Rashad show. And they got myriads of videos too where cops is doing violating that shit on the tube. Of violating, falsely arresting, just harassing, doing all this nut shit. And so as a black man, you ask, so what are my options? Like I say that too. Like I say, back to my video about last week or a week before about Dr. Umar had dudes stop giving money to the oppressor and start putting money back into the continent, so therefore they don't have to. First of all, they can help get these immigrants out of the country, especially in South Africa. but also they don't have to be relying on immigrant funding and documentation and aid, and you can basically support yourself and therefore be able to pull yourself out of their own shit. Shit hit the fan. Everybody just return to Wakanda and get ready for a great Armageddon. But at the very minimum, you could put a stranglehold on the world economy, which clearly is trying to take from you and destroy you. So, my other video, see, dude's going to keep harassing you and shit to the point where either they going to start a war or etc. Then they talk about voting for, like, now blacks now are talking about voting for Trump. I'm like, well, Trump just said he's going to take liability away from police. And he said he's going to, put more harsh shit on the prosecutor, not to give hard sentences or over. Which, I mean, how do you gotta do that when the Constitution guarantees that? But he said he going to make sure the prosecution, the what's it called, unlawful search and seizures or fast, speedy, and fair trials, that's already in the Constitution. So once again, like the civil rights movement, as Dr. Umar pointed out, you as a black man got to keep fighting with every other race and culture is guaranteed according to the Constitution. Why do they got to get involved? See, as I said, that's why I don't believe that in America say, because like one other video, I'm not fighting for legislation, as Brother Minister said. I'm not fighting, he came up in the civil rights movement. I'm not fighting for more legislation when you already have legislation that's not being enforced. So why am I going to, like, that's a pump fake and a dumb, idiotic fucking move. If you already got laws and constitutions and such, whatever, that already guarantees the safety that you're now fighting for, is like basically telling you, fuck you. And then give it to other people, especially not even immigrants coming in. Even like I said, even immigrants are acting nasty and doing that, talking shit to the blacks and shit. But like I said, a lot of the Mexicans are half Spaniards, so, and cooned out. And like I said, even when I watching the video, even when you go to I'm about to say Madagascar, with that in Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, they treat in general, they treat blacks, the darker hue, like trash, and the lighter hue like God. Saying they over in Jamaica, they got that paper bag test where if you have a darker hue, you don't get respect, and if you have a hot lighter hue, you get all the respect in the world. So that shows even in the Mexicanos that had to, like I said, they be all talking shit. I'm like, did I steal your land from you? Did I take your land? Did I oppress you and destroy the Aztecs and Mayans? Well, of course, I'm the Olmecs. But did I do this to you? And yet they got the same, see that coonery, or half, like I said, see that half Spaniard blood. You're mad at me, like, as a guy, black person. I'm like, why don't you say it to those who took your land from you? See, a lot of these nations been indoctrinated and got that ancient hate, as Psalms 83 states. They're showing you the hatred they got towards you even in their own country. That's why this is still a country. But when you go to Mexico, where they can actually claim to still be theirs, they're not fighting for shit and not saying anything about oppression and reparations and all type of shit. But they made you there. So that shows you the hate everybody has toward those of Zebulonian descent. So, in my other video, I guess it's like the only option is either war or separation of planets, part 2. As a black man in America, what are your options? Return to Dark Side of Candor.